We got the call this morning about 4 o'clock that flooding was taking place and evacuations were going to have to start.
The state of emergency is declared, but unless it's your home or something like that, it's hard to totally kind of get the full effect of how bad it is.
Brian Stapp with Going Local. Today it's kind of out of the norm for us, but things are out of the norm here in Goshen. We had about 5 inches of rain in some isolated areas, and we had a huge snowpack. I mean, not like way up north, but we had a good snowpack, and it all has just melted and gone into the water system. And with that, we've got some major flooding. We're actually at record levels here in Goshen and throughout the area. And so I'm going to go out and I want to find people here in Goshen helping out and helping those people that are around them. So with that, let's go hit the road. Okay, as you drive through town, the main east-west road through town, US 33, is closed. We're pulling up to it right now, and it's just amazing. I've seen the water high. We're at 1982 levels, which is the record high for town here.
So I'm out here in the corner of Pike Street, and right across the street there is a Kroger. It always gets flooded when it gets bad. I've never seen it get over here. I've lived in the area for 13 years, and it's never been this bad.
All right, we're now at the Goshen Pond out here. There's a spillway. It backs up the Elkhart River here, and so we're gonna walk down. Normally a little bit of water's going over the spillway, so let's go check out and see how bad it is. Come on. Normally it spills out into the river over here. It kind of goes over. It's just your nice tranquil little river, about, I don't know what, 20-30 feet wide, and I don't know, the depth is, I don't know, we've waded in the river down here before. We're here at the spillway. Come on. Now normally when we're out here, the water is like way down here, and there's some big boulders and stuff like that to, make a place to sit. It's amazing how much higher it is than what it normally is. And then right here, the bike trail, we come down this bike trail, follow it, and have a nice little bike ride through the woods back here. Ain't happening today. So we're on our way to go find one of the main shopping areas for this town, Goshen here. Linway Plaza, those of you that are in Goshen know that. And so we're gonna go head over that way now. As soon as we parked the car, we parked it about a block away, walked up here, and I knew I wanted to come here. This is Lincoln Avenue. It's a main east-west road in Goshen. And it's been blocked since this morning, and because I drove on it last night. As soon as we got up here though, we saw the fire trucks, like, okay, what's going on? They weren't rushing or anything. We talked to one of the fire department personnel, and he said that they had a boat out and they were helping people get out of their homes. And as soon as we got here, we saw one of those boats come around a corner, helping a family of a woman and her 2 children and 3 other people who went to go check on her. How did the fire department just show up, or what happened with that?
Oh, they were getting a lot of people. They called 911,
okay.
So they were getting them, and they did knock down their doors
to
see if we needed help too.
Okay, all right. And is everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
Just a little wet? How bad is it? How deep in the house is it?
It's just it's not upstairs, only the basement. So
Okay.
Upstairs is fine, nothing's
Okay.
wrong.
All right. Well, it's still rough with the basement being flooded.
As soon as we were done talking to them, we talked to the Goshen Fire Department chaplain, Greg Lanzin.
We got the call this morning about 4 o'clock that flooding was taking place and evacuations were going to have to start. And so we contacted some other people from our church, and then they came in, opened the church up, and we have places for people to sleep. We've got food, we've got television stuff so people can watch TV. We've got internet access so they can do that, phone access so they can call people if they need to, and just kind of a place for people to go if they don't have anywhere to go as a result of having to leave their homes.
And one of the things that I've been kind of focusing on is we always see this stuff happen on TV somewhere else, and we always wonder how we would react. how has been the reaction of Goshen helping out other people? What's that been like?
Oh, Goshen's a good city, and the reaction was quick. Like I said, I got called at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I called people, and they came in by 5 o'clock. And that wasn't just us; that's the whole city. I heard that Mayor Stutzman was out on one of the flood scenes out at the one trailer park Creekside. I heard he was out there early this morning. I know I've been listening to my radio, and police officers and firefighters have been all over the city all day responding quickly, and other people have stepped up. I will say this, that our church may have opened its doors as a center, but we have received calls at the church from other churches.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
concerned citizens saying, is there anything we can do to help? And so we have kind of lined up some additional help, and yeah, the whole city's coming together and working on this, and that's the way Goshen is. Goshen's always been good like that.
As Pastor Lanson said, things are still in a state of flux, so if you want to help, just keep checking back. Check social media. You know who to talk to. Be engaged. The city's been really good about saying which streets are closed and what's going on, so just keep an eye out, and that way you can help them. But right now, he just wants people to stay off the roads so that fire crews and other first responders can get out and do what they need to do. For those of you in Goshen, this is Indiana, between Lincoln and the middle school, really. And we just saw somebody, it was up to his waist, walking down the street here. I'm with Brian. He lives in the house here that we'll look at in a second. Brian, what was it like last night?
Last night, I was parked up against one of the trees out there, and it was just below my running board on my truck. About 6 o'clock this morning, I went out there and moved my vehicles, and since then it's rose about 3-4 foot since then.
Wow. How long have you lived here?
I've been here for a year.
Okay. And you've been in Goshen for a year, or you've been here longer?
I've been in Goshen all my life.
Okay. You ever seen it like this?
Never this bad. A couple years ago, it was maybe, there's a hill out, we got a hill over by our trees back there, and it's come up to that, that's about it. Not this far.
So you said it's creeping a little bit into the house, it just came in
Yeah,
the
we got
house a
about
little
an
bit?
inch into the house now.
So any plans, anything you can do?
We are putting sandbags up against the back door right now. We got about 3 or 4 inches in the basement. Sub pump is working its hardest to pump it out.
I bet I've had those. And how many of the neighbors do you know up and down the street here?
I know the one up the hill, know a couple down there. We got one all the way down at the end, into Indiana. She says she got about a 3 or 4 foot in her basement, and she has 4 sub pumps pumping it out, but it ain't doing that much.
Oh wow! Most of the people been able to get out then?
They had fire rescue pulling a couple old elderly couples out of these 2 houses down here, and they got out pretty decent.
So some numbers. It's changed. Crest is supposed to be 13.2. The previous record was 11.9. So it's a foot and a third over what it's been. It's not supposed to crest until a little after midnight between Wednesday and Thursday. So that's going to be pretty intense. And the gauge actually for that is right over here. So we're going to come a little closer. And the gauge for that is just right over here. And let's see, Allison, do you want to zoom in a little bit? And so there we go. We see right there at the bottom that it's above 12 and right at 13. So again, pretty record floods here. Some of the highest that Goshen's ever seen. Back in '82 was the last record, and that was 11.9. So we're nearly a foot, probably about 6 to 7 inches above where it was at the record, and we still have another 6 or 7 inches to go. This is the pond at Shanklin Park. It goes up to right here. So this is the pond at Shanklin Park. But if we turn and look, I'm gonna have to look over here. Way over there, and I'll zoom in and get you some video. Way over there, about 3 football fields away, is where the river is actually supposed to be. To down here. So that's it. This park is pretty low. Like when it gets to decent flooding, it'll flood some parking lots over there in the lower part of the park. I'm here with a group of kids. They happen to live in the area here. What do you guys think about all of this flooding over here?
It goes kabloosh.
I'm used to a snow delay, fog delay.
And I call this just a rain day.
Okay, rain day.
I was going to tell Daddy if we could go on a bike ride until he told me that there was a flood, and I was like, what? Unless you wanted to bike swim.
Yeah, bike swim.
You pedal and you swim.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to take boats to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of our day here. We've made the trip all the way around Goshen through the flooded areas. If you're on the northwest side of town, it's clear. You wouldn't even know. If you're on the southeast side of town, it's clear. You wouldn't even know. It's just really the center area that's truly just affected by the flooding. It seems obvious, but you wouldn't know without driving through these areas. Now there's 3 main east-west streets and routes to get through Goshen. And one of them is Pike Street, the other one is Lincoln, and then the last one south of that is Plymouth. And so Pike Street's closed, we've shown you that. Lincoln was closed, we've shown you that. Now we're on Plymouth, and as you can see, I'm standing in the middle. Plymouth is closed. We've not been the only people that have been trying to wrap our minds around the scope of all this flooding.
My daughters and I are just out walking the dog, checking out the flooding in the park here, so in the river.
And then you said you've been here since 1992.
Yeah, I came here for college.
The river's flooded a couple times. Have you ever seen it this bad?
I have never seen it this bad. I've seen Kroger parking lot flood and some of Shanklin here, but never this bad. It's pretty amazing, although it's kind of a weird feeling because the state of emergency is declared, but you know, unless it's your home or something like that, it's hard to totally kind of get the full effect of how bad it is for some places, I guess. So. Glad we have a dry basement, but we have friends that have wet basements and are dealing with a lot worse situations than what we are.
We've made our trip all the way around Goshen today. The thing I'm left with is it's amazing and it's almost surreal. Somebody posted it's surreal on one of my Facebook lives. It's surreal because it's such a small area, has such a big impact on such a small area. So we're on Plymouth Avenue finishing our tour. You just saw some video of Shanklin Park, and here is Plymouth Avenue. This is the 3rd Street through Goshen that's blocked. And as you can see, it's just water rushing across the road. So that's it for today. So we'll be back maybe tomorrow. It depends on what's going on. So if you like this video, please hit like, please share it so that other people can see what's going on here in Goshen and help us tell our story and show people what a great town is. And even if things like this are happening, what are the great things that can happen out of this? How can we help people and make Goshen a great place to live?